G'day, this is our drive-through review of the Camp Flat Campground on the Buckland River Road just outside of Bright, or a little bit outside of Bright. It's not too bad. The road in is a two-wheel drive road, and coming down this track to the entrance to the campground is a two-wheel drive track. This was just after summer going into autumn. It was quite dusty. I'm not sure what it would be like in the rain. It's not too steep a track to come down. It's quite alright. We came down with a camper trailer with a bit of weight on, and it was quite alright. So there's a river crossing, and just before the river crossing there's an area just to the left here where you can camp. There aren't any toilets on this side, so if you want to go to the toilet you have to get across the river. So there was someone camped at the end of this little track here. I didn't want to go down and disturb them, but there was an area down there. It's not as grassy as the other side. Probably got more gravel and stones and such. So crossing the river was quite easy. It's not too steep an entrance to get in. Like always, check the height of the water before you cross. This has a really good base, really good rock base. The current wasn't very strong at all, and it wasn't very deep at all. And the exit was quite alright as well. There was it wasn't too hard. It's a little bit steep, but not too bad. So this is the start of the campground. First of all, we've got the drop toilet. So these are reasonably new, a couple of years old I think. They've got the hand sanitizer there to use. They did come in and wash them out and clean them out. There's an area off to the right. Generally this area was quite busy in the time that we were there. It is a bit weedier. There was a few more scotch thistles and blackberries and such around, and it was fairly flat for the most part. It wasn't too bad. There's a great little nook up on the left here that you could get into. Someone camped in there while we were there. And then on the top here is a great spot. You overlook the Buckland River. So this was a great area for swimming. We went swimming in there on a few days. We were lucky enough to have some really good weather while we were there for swimming. Perfect weather for swimming during the day and a fire at night. So over here on the left there is a two-wheel drive Toyota. They did cross the river obviously to get in, and we saw them drive out again very slowly. They did have help around, so if anything went wrong. So the river was nice and cold. We did fill up our buckets that we use for washing etc. out of the river. So there was an area behind the toilets. It wasn't very inviting to me. It didn't look like it had been maintained for a long time. I don't know whether they slash it or not. So as you go to the left after crossing the river, you come up to, I suppose, this little nook down here where it's on the river that you could camp at. A great little area to access the water again. The forest management people came in and filled up their water tanks down here. There's our camp area. Not all the area was flat, so I think for tents and things it could be a little bit difficult. But yeah, it was a little bit, you know, there was holes and undulates a little bit. Some areas were flatter than others. You have to really have a look around. Most of the campground was in the shade for most of the day. There was a little bit of sunshine that did filter through, but most of it was in the shade. This track went back to the Buckland River Road. On exit at the road there was a river crossing also, similar to the one getting into this campsite. So at this camp there were dogs permitted, there was one official fire pit, a drop loo, fishing was permitted, first in best dressed, as with most free campsites, no picnic tables. It was overall pretty shady. There were spots that had sunshine. There was no internet and plenty of mountain gums around everywhere. Okay, this is leaving the campsite. Again, the river wasn't very deep. And the exit out of here wasn't as steep as when you come into the campsite. We did it with the camper trailer, it wasn't too bad at all. We would love for you to give us a big thumbs up on the video. And also comment if you've got any comments. If you've got any questions, leave them below. And we would love for you to subscribe to our channel. It encourages us to make more videos, more campsite reviews. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.